Okay, sorry about that. So when we're talking about sorrow, when sorrow comes out like this could be something that's in your past, and something you might tell yourself that doesn't even bother you. It's something that you might not even feel like it's significant in your life, but it is. It is. Like especially pain that we felt when we were children. Even though you might not feel like it's bothering you now, it is right. So this is why it's so important. And when we do what's called shadow work, right, is when we look into the dark parts of ourselves, the things we've repressed, the things we've pushed away about ourselves, the things about our past that weren't good, that hurt us. And that's what doing shadow work is. It's going back and highlighting and looking at those areas of our life that that are just sitting there festering. Okay. So when we're looking into things like sorrow, really think about stuff that that happened to you. Was it I mean, it could be a multitude of things, right? So just make a list and go through and really feel the energy of it, right? And forgive yourself, okay? So something like if you were you were molested as a child, so it's just sitting there, right? So when you go back, it's like sitting there waiting for you to come and visit it, right? And for you to free it, okay? And when you go back and do that, surrender it, acknowledge it, surrender it, and forgive yourself, it opens up, right? And so all those energetic chains that that everybody's carrying around, they come off, okay? Right now, when you don't know what you don't know, right? So your life is going to drastically change when you do this, okay? Just in so many different ways. When we start to do the inner work like that, it can physically change our reality, and then we gain more control over creating what it is we want out of life. What else? Okay, so now we're going to look at your relationship, okay? All right, so one of the things I'm seeing is that this relationship you're in, it has the potential to be limitless. All right, this has the potential, soulmate potential. This is somebody that it needs work. You guys have some things to work on, and you digging through and doing the spiritual work is going to help that. It's going to help it blossom. It's going to help it unfold like a beautiful flower. um All right, I do see that there's some obstacles. So he's holding on. He does hide his feelings. He does hide things from you. This is he's hurt from something in the past. This yeah, it's something from you guys, something that happened between you guys. So he's still holding on to that. All right, so that might be something for you guys to sit down and go back and address. Okay, really maybe try to heal through that. He's hiding his feelings, like, on that level from you. I mean, we all, kind of guard ourselves, I guess, when it comes to our heart. But I am seeing that you're getting the Phoenix card, okay? So this card speaks of rebirth, okay? So beginning of one phase of your relationship and entering it into another one, okay? I am seeing a child, a young energy that's watching you guys. This is you ruling the castle. Make sure that we're ruling fair, all right? And go easy on your stepchild if you have one. Your child or stepchild or whoever it is. So you got some luck coming in about you're going to take my advice. This is you taking my advice. Or this is you not taking my advice, and the card was inverted. Okay? So you're going to listen to what we're talking about and really do this inner work, all right? And this is going to open up some big fucking doors for you. It's going to open up some big doors of change for you also. You need to ask yourself, where do you want to, we're talking about 10 years. Do you want to stay in Missouri? Because I'm seeing in 10 years, you're not going to be in Missouri. You're not. So, all right, let's keep going with him. All right, hold on. Obstacles. All right. All right. All right. So really identifying what your relationship, is. Okay. So making a decision: is this somebody I want to be with long term, or is this somebody that's just here for right now? Okay. You need to make a decision. You need to identify the relationship and the way it is, right? So is this somebody, you want to spend your life with? So you guys have had some bumps in the road, but there's another Phoenix coming out, okay? That's twin Phoenixes rising out of the ashes, all right? You need to really give each other some tenderness right now, okay? Really give each other some emotional support. And you guys need to embrace for change, okay? Because sometimes, and I'll be honest with you, so that area, like Poplar Bluff, it maybe sometimes we get stuck when we stay in the same place. We get stuck in this stagnant energy. We don't even realize that we're in this energy because we don't know how to identify it. But once you identify it and you start paying attention to how you feel and the patterns and behaviors that you repeat, man, it's easier to break away out of this energy, okay? So think about your life now, okay? When you break out of, let's say you move to another state, let's say you move to Illinois, right? Somewhere you don't even know anybody, if that's what it takes, okay? You're going to create a whole new version of yourself, and it opens the door for change. It's really hard to change when we stay stuck in the same energy that we're always in, okay? One of the ways we break out of that is that we move, we change the way we dress, the way we think, the way we view the world, whatever that looks like, okay? Letting go of those limiting beliefs and really becoming the identity of who you want to be, okay? You need to understand that you are fucking limitless. There is nothing that you can't do Embrace that shit, the inner goddess inside of you, okay? There is fucking nothing that you can't do. From now on, I don't want you to ever say the words, I can't do something, okay? Ever, all right? You never use those fucking limiting beliefs. You can do anything. You just got to teach yourself to learn how to do it, okay? So, and if it ever comes up, and anybody asks you, hey, do you know how to do this? Yes, I do know how to do that. And you fucking go look up how to do it, and you fucking execute that shit, okay? You're going to start taking charge with everything in your sorry, everything in your life like this, okay? This is the way you're going to view the world. All right. Yeah. There's soulmate energy with you and your partner, you know? I mean, this is something, you know, but also it's your decision, you know? So you really make that decision, okay? Too, also pushing yourself to make that decision. That's, you know, might be one of the decisions you need to make, is fucking understanding like where your relationship is and like where's it going, you know? What do you want it to be? Because if it's not, then you need to bail out and go find the one you want, you know? Because at the end of the day, we're all searching for love, right? And here's the important thing, okay? You got to heal yourself, all right? And love yourself so much that you don't fucking need anybody else, okay? You don't 11 on the time, okay? You need to listen to me. You develop so much love for yourself that you don't fucking need anybody else, okay? And when you get to this point in life, this is when the universe opens these doors, right? And it brings, you know, that love that, you know, you did want into your life. We heal ourselves, and this is how these things are transpire. And everything I'm sharing with you, this is something that's not going to cost you any money, you know, for you to sit down and do this homework. And I cannot, man, it will be so detrimental and life-changing for you to do the things that I'm suggesting that you to do, okay? You need to go get a pendulum, all right? You need to go get a deck of tarot. You need to develop a meditation practice, okay? So where you're sitting there, if it start off 5 minutes a day, okay? And you sit there in complete silence, okay? And when thoughts come up, all right, so you just let the thought come up and you don't latch onto it, okay? And what does that look like? That means, so think of a pond, right? And every time you throw a penny into a pond, you're getting a ripple effect, okay? And that creates a thought. So you're generating thoughts when we latch onto them. So let's say if the thought of I'm eating cheeseburgers comes up while you're meditating, the mind normally goes to something like, okay, well, when am I going to cook them, or where am I going to get them from? I'm going to go to the grocery store. It's just shit like that, okay? So when the thoughts come up, just to let them happen, okay? Don't latch onto them. All right, and then it's gonna, and the more you do this, the more you practice it, the better and better you're gonna get at it. Okay, till you get to a point where you're sitting there for 5 minutes with no thoughts running through your mind. Okay, and then you can work to 10 minutes, and so on and so forth. So the idea and goal of meditation is to completely silence the mind. So most people walking around have that blah 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 shit going on in their fucking mind. Okay, I'm gonna do this tomorrow. I'm gonna go. I gotta do this. Why did that lady say this to me? It's just nonstop chaos, okay? So there's silencing the mind is how you completely stop that and cut that off. And this is the path to stepping into your power of what you can do and what you can be. So silencing the mind, it will get to a point where in like 30, let's say you're sitting there for 30, maybe 40 minutes, with no thoughts coming through your mind. And then it'll happen all of a sudden. Your mind will just go completely blank. And then it gets to the point where, you know, you can sit there in a conversation with somebody and no thoughts are running through your mind, okay? You're in control of your mind again, all right? And it's a game changer. It's a fucking life-changing experience when this happens. And then so also the breathing, okay? I want you to breathe in and out through your nose only, okay? That shallow chest breathing shit is how we stay stuck in our heads, in our thoughts, right? So if you ever notice that you're thinking thought after thought, you're really stuck in your head, well, you don't have to live like that anymore, right? So it's because we do this. Or we're only breathing out through our mouth, okay? The breath of life is in the nose and out the nose, okay? And when you're sitting in meditation, this is what you perfect. You practice breathing. You breathe in your nose and you breathe out your nose, okay? The breath is the most vital thing because that's how we stay present in the moment, okay? Most people live either in the past or they live in the future, okay? They're always sitting there thinking about one of those areas. It's time travel, okay? So most people thinking about what happened to them the day before or what they're going to do the next day at work or what they're going to do on vacation, shit like that. The key is to being present in the moment at all times, okay? And that's how, when we silence the mind, that allows us to stay present. And I mean, you need to be in the moment at all times. This is where the fucking magic happens, okay? Not staying stuck in your thoughts about the past or what happened to you 3 years ago. You need to completely shut the fucking door on the past, okay? Stop thinking about it, period. Whenever thoughts arise that you don't want to have anymore, you're going to practice thought stopping, okay? So when you have that thought that comes up and you catch yourself thinking negative thoughts, I want you to sit there and change your mind automatically to start thinking about the beach. Whatever, if you have to fucking force it, I want you to image the beach in your mind and sit there and stay with that until that thought subsides, okay? The more you do this, the better you're going to become at it, and it's going to get to the point where you don't have any negative thoughts coming up anymore like that, okay? Don't tolerate any negative fucking self-talk whatsoever, all right? If you're saying any kind of negative shit about yourself, towards the future situation, I want you to stop, and I want you to let it go, okay? Let's talk about manifesting real quick. Here's how you manifest what you want, okay? So let's say you want a new car, okay? Or you want to move or whatever. I want you to sit there, and let's say you want the new car. So I want you to sit there, and I want you to get the image in your mind, okay, of you in that new car. You always think about what you want to manifest in the present moment, all right? So I see that I have a new car, all right? I love the way my new car smells. My new car brings me so much joy. Everything is in the present tense, okay? And this is how we align ourselves to the universe to bring in this shit into our life, okay? Whatever it is that you're wanting to create, I want you to see yourself. Let's say it's a new car, so I want you to feel what it feels like sitting in the new car or driving, or feel the wind on your face. Get really fucking detailed with it, okay? And this allows the universe to align and bring that shit to us, okay? So when you're manifesting, everything is always in the present tense, always. And man, sky's the fucking limit, okay? When we're talking about this, you sit down and you make a fucking list of what it is that you want. Make a list of 10 things. And every day, the morning, noon, and night, I want you to sit down and I want you to read through your list. I see that I have money in my bank account. Or I see that I have a new phone. I see that I have whatever it is you're wanting to create, right? So when you're writing it down, I have or I am, okay? Always present tense, okay? Not I need or I want, shit like that. Get those words out of your mouth. Everything is happening now, and this is how you bring the timeline in that you want. All right, what else does she need to know? All right. Yeah, I see you taking my advice. This is you looking out into the world and understanding what it is that you want, okay? This is you. See, she's holding a pentacle. The pentacle represents the elements, okay? Earth, air, wind, fire, and spirit, okay? And these are different areas of our lives that we learn to master, okay? She's a fucking beast with it. She's a fucking goddess. She channels that shit because she knows what she is, okay? She's in control of her thoughts. She's in control of her emotions. She's in control of her passions and her dreams. And she's in control of making that shit fucking happen. Manifesting like a pro, all right? What else? Yeah, also I'm seeing you working in the 3D space. Okay, this is you working at your job, whatever it is you're doing to make money. And I'm seeing you really take a look at that, right? So this is how I'm seeing it come out. So it's coming out like this. So see how this is the Hermit? Okay, this represents someone looking within. Okay, understanding situations better, looking deep within yourself. See how he's looking into the lamp? He's using that lamp, his past knowledge, things he's learned along the way, and he's looking at the reality through that lamp, right, with that lens, because he's using what he knows, okay? And he's really looking into what he's doing for work, okay? The way he's making money. See that? How he's looking right over here? Um, he's looking at this, he's analyzing this. So there's something about your workspace you need to analyze, okay? I'm seeing that when you do this, this is represents, this is the Knight of Cups. This represents a spiritual transformation, all right? A shift in spirituality, really fucking fulfilled with what you're doing for work, all right? It becomes almost like a spiritual experience, because that's how we find, you know, what we want to do in life is how we feel when we can make money and feel like validated that we've brought a piece of ourselves into the world, man. That's what, you know, finding the ultimate job really is. And when you fucking do this, man, this is some beautiful energy that you're stepping into. All right. So really analyze what it is you're doing for work, and, you know, okay, what it is, you know, that if something needs to change, or do you want to find another job that's going to be more fulfilling? Are you fulfilled in your job right now? Okay. So think about that. And if you're not, fucking, you need to get there. That's on the path, okay? When we change things in our life like this, our money's got to be on point, because we need to do things that we need to do. Let's say we want to become something different. Well, if we want to move from one place to another, you know, you need the money to do that. So really thinking about how that your money affects you internally too, okay? So if you're working, doing something you don't like, fucking quit that shit. Fuck that shit. Step right the fuck off on into something else. And if you are doing something that you like, man, then fucking, you know, maybe there's a way you can make it better, or something that can happen, something you can change around. It's awesome. It's a good place, because that means you work after you've worked through some of this shit. You're really looking into like the areas of your life that are affecting you. All right, the Judgment card's coming out. Okay. All right, I see you making a judgment. So there's got some, so the Devil card's coming out. Okay, and this represents, this can represent negative behavior patterns, or let's say substance abuse, chemicals, let's say alcohol. This could be anything that's, you know, not good for our fucking spiritual progression, okay? You see, that's what he would represent, okay? And then see how he's got these chains around their neck? Well, if you look close, the chains are not on there tight, right? They're on there loose, okay? So she could just slip that fucking thing right off, right? So this speaks on self-imposed chains, okay? Something that we've done to ourselves, right? Can't blame it on anybody else. So this would represent like things like addiction, like I said, negative behavior. If you're dating the same kind of asshole, toxic relationships, any one of those things, you'll know what it is. I'm seeing that you need to make a judgment. This is you making a judgment call on it. Okay, making a decision on it. This is the way it's coming out. Okay. So you need to there's something you need to address. Okay. So something that's not good, not conducive for your progression, man. It feels heavy, man. Really jump on top of that shit. All right, I see you're at the end of you're at a cul-de-sac, okay? A way of doing things. Something needs to change, okay? And we're talking about those burdens you were carrying around earlier, okay? That shit needs to change, okay? You need to set that shit down, all right? Because you're carrying that shit around, it's just weighing you down. And again, this is other people, other people's problems, or anything that you're carrying around that you don't have to, okay? Set that shit down. Start focusing on yourself. What else? All right. Okay, so I really want you to just, when we talk about, again, what am I doing here? This is the great question, right? This is part of your journey too, is figuring that shit out. Okay. So, and that's part of the fun in this place, is understanding our place in the world. Okay. You want to understand those questions for yourself. This is how you do it. Okay. to learn to row. I want you to get a pendulum, and I want you to get a practice going on. You can call me anytime if you have any questions. Here's how you learn to row. You buy a fucking deck. They're like 20 bucks. And every day you pull a card and you see how that card plays out in your life so you can put meaning to the card. Okay. It won't take you that long. You'll teach yourself inside a very short time. All right. Really need to have hope about the future. Okay. You got some beautiful shit getting ready to unfold for you. Okay. Be hopeful, but you also need to do the work, okay? And when we talk about things like hope, that doesn't mean inaction, okay? We bring the things we hope and we want into action, and the universe, bam, meets us halfway, all right? So fucking, we got to make sure and put forth the effort that we need for our change, for our spiritual progression. It's the most important fucking thing you could be doing right now, man. I'd put everything else on fucking side on hold. And girl, let me tell you what, man, smash the fucking gas on it, man. Man, it will bring you so much fucking joy. It's such a beautiful thing, all right? When we start to really understand the world around us and why things are the way they are, and that it's not just random coincidences, that everything happens for a reason. Every fucking thing, okay? And once you start to understand this and you start to connect divination with the world around you, you can start divinating in real world time, getting real world fucking information. It just flows through you. When you silence your mind, the things you're wanting to know, man, you're just going to know it. Man, so many things can open up for you. Everybody's different. Everybody's got their own certain gifts and abilities. All right. But let's activate that shit, man. It's sitting there laying dormant, waiting for you to fucking activate it. Okay. All right, what else does she need to know? All right, Sarah, we're gonna end the video here, okay? All right, lots of love and light, and man, I see you taking my advice. I see you making the right decision, and I see you propelling yourself on a motherfucking badass journey, man. All right, really think about stepping outside your comfort zone, okay? This is what needs to happen. You really need to become uncomfortable, okay? Get outside your comfort zone. Start doing things that make you fucking uncomfortable. That's how we learn. That's life. Sitting back in our house watching the world go by is no way to fucking live. That's not playing the game, okay? You need to play the fucking game, okay? Really get involved with it. Don't run from it.